Hey everyone, are you excited for Destiny 2 Forsaken? Because I am, but I'm being very cautious because I don't want to get fisted by Bungie again in disappointment. So I'm being cautious. But I'm excited. Destiny 2 Forsaken is around the corner, and to be honest, I'm hyped, but I'm being very cautious. I'm trying not to over-exaggerate my thoughts on what this DLC will have in store, because that ruins a lot of my experiences with a lot of games when I overhype things. And I feel like you guys should do the same. Be kind of cautious, because, come on, let's be real, we fell for the excitement and hype of Destiny 2, and you know how that turned out. I know, wow, they're doing some crazy crap. They're gonna turn the story dark. They're gonna turn down the lights to not even dim. You're not going to be able to see your hand in front of your face. It's going to be that dark. That's what they say, but we need to just not be so hyped on things that they say until we actually play it. I am excited. I'm hyped, but I'm cautious, but I am looking forward to this DLC either way. It's looking very positive. A lot of the things that they talk about and show it's been tough to not just like explosive excitement, but it's the best thing that I could do, and I feel like a lot of you should do the same, because when Destiny 2 released, I was very, very optimistic about it, but I was being kind of cautious because there were some things that they just didn't answer that I was really concerned about. And in the end, I mean, it was okay. It was better than Destiny 1's base game for story, but there was a lot of things missing. I mean, you could go on for hours on the many things that Destiny 2 misses. I mean, like the grind and stuff that Destiny 1 had. But the thing is that Destiny 2, in my opinion, had a good foundation. Destiny 1 really kind of did, but not really. As in, what I mean is Destiny 2 perfected like the patrol area a little bit better than Destiny 1. And they did better with strikes. They did better with how the game works with the experiences inside of the story, like rather than in Destiny 1 where it was just you went backwards in an area that you already experienced. You remember those missions? Like, there's certain things that are a little bit better, but the foundation is decent in Destiny 2. That's why Forsaken gets me kind of hyped, because the foundation's already there. It's just that they need to put in the little sprinkles of depth and innovation in there that they missed. Like, I don't know, I guess innovation was still stuck in a jar when they released Destiny 2. But the thing is so far, Forsaken is looking very, very, very good for a Destiny fan. Now, does this mean that it's going to be something that is going to push you to return to Destiny 2 when you left Destiny 2 at launch or whatever? I don't know. That is your own decision. Like, I can't sit here and tell you, yeah, this is worth so-and-so amount of money, because everyone's viewpoint is different. It's very, very hard. I can share my thoughts, and if my thoughts really impact what you think about stuff, then sure, why not? Buy the DLC because I said something. But normally for me, I like to see the game in action to really get my thoughts on it if I'm not really interested in it. Destiny 2, I'm already interested in it. So with Forsaken, you know, I'm already all aboard on that. I mean, they're doing a lot of free changes already with like the weapon slot changes and such. So I'm very optimistic. But the things that I'm worried about comes along of the other underlying issues that I already have with the game. I mean, they are doing an overhaul to the Crucible, but the biggest problems is that, well, one, the game was made, the maps were made for the slow gameplay, for the barricades, the rifts, and all that stuff. And I feel like rifts and barricades and all that stuff is not going to really fit well in the new faster paced Crucible unless they increase or like make it faster to bring down the shield, the rift, and all that other stuff. But I don't know. I just don't think it fits. But the maps also just don't really feel big enough like Destiny 1 maps. I know that Destiny 1 had its fair share of small maps, but even the small maps were like the size of the big maps, quote unquote, of Destiny 2, in my opinion. Just on how that they are laid out and designed. I really do hope that they work on making more bigger maps and not just all this crazy wherever kind of maps. I really missed like the maps in D1 where it fit sniper lanes and shotgun flanking positions. There was a lot of that. But in Destiny 2, they didn't really think about that because they knew that a lot of people were going to be running around with their primaries. But the other concerns that I have is the playlists for Crucible, if we want to stick with Crucible. Trials is not going to be around for Season 5, I think we're going for Forsaken. So for like 3 months, there's not going to be Trials at all. And now let's go to PvE. I already don't feel powerful in PvE. Like, getting up in power doesn't really matter. So when they were like, you're going to get up to 600 power, I'm like, okay. But am I going to still be feeling like paper when I go into the prestige raid or whatever? Because I know that it's supposed to be difficult. I know that. But it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm feeling like paper. I should feel strong. As long as I'm doing the mechanics right, as long as I'm being smart with my interactions with the enemies, I should feel powerful. And in strikes alone, I just don't. And that's why with time to kill being changed for PvP, I was like, well, I would like to see PvE get a little bit of a change too, somewhat. I know that maybe some of you are okay with how it plays already, but I really do miss the strength of your Guardian inside of Destiny 1 the most. And I do see the difference from Destiny 2 and Destiny 1. But my negatives get outplayed by the positives, the optimistic positives that I can see inside of this game. The game is returning to a hobby-like style, and that is good. I mean, for me, I do like patrol, and when they announced we're getting 2 patrols, I was like, hell yeah, patrol, man. I know that seems stupid, but I just like roaming around areas, doing public events. I loved the EDZ a lot, and I wanted another EDZ, essentially. Something where it's a giant area and like giant map to explore with tons of public events, lots of lost sectors, and I feel like the Dreaming City at least will be like that. I don't know about the other one, the Reef area, but either way, it looks very, very positive. One of the things that I am like somewhat concerned about, and I know that a lot of you already probably heard about this, is the economy change for Infusion. I do like grinding for materials back in D1 to be able to level up my perks. But now you get your perks automatically. It's just that the mods and the Masterworks is something separate that you have to level up on its own with different stuff. But Infusion will require you to have planetary materials. And that sucks because they basically said that you can't transfer your coins, your tokens, into planetary materials. But you can turn in the tokens still when Forsaken comes out, which is good. But it's just like, yay, I haven't been farming for planetary materials because they were useless, and now you're making them useful. Yay. Like, I don't know. If I were to get planetary materials from leveling up the vendors, then maybe that would be different, but I don't know. The other thing that I'm concerned about, speaking of patrol, is they are not looking at old content and bumping them up. I don't know if they're going to add random rolls to previous stuff from the vendors, but I swear, if they make, for example, Titan, if that armor set does not get a year 2 version with like random rolls and stuff, maybe some exclusive perks for Titan, maybe have some weapons as well, have random rolls as well sold by her, then what's the point of grinding those planets? You gotta make old content useful if they're still going to be relevant. I mean, the flashpoint is most likely not going away. I know Kate is going bye-bye, but flashpoint most likely will be staying, where you go into patrol, you do this on a specific planet. And it's going to be really annoying that if the only reason of going to those planets is just for the materials, and that's it. Because the vendors played a big role in base Destiny 2, and I feel like if they were to update the vendors, it'd be better. But they already kind of confirmed that they're not changing. And I'm like, really? Really? Come on. Like, you can at least have a Forsaken set of the same looking gear just with random rolls. Just so there's a reason to wear that armor. Because now that if I get it, if it's not Forsaken style, as in with the random rolls, what's the point of going there and turning in tokens? I don't understand. That's my concern. I don't know if they answered this, but I'm concerned because I really do like patrol areas being relevant throughout all DLCs. And so far they've done pretty good with the small expansions versus Destiny 1, where in Destiny 1 it was every new small expansion they were like, hey, you know that Fatebringer you're like? You can't use that anymore. Move on to this shit now. So with Destiny 2, I'm hoping that they keep going down that road. I know they said that you will be able to infuse your year 1 gear into the year 2 version, but I mean, most of us are going to want to grind the year 2 stuff because there's better stuff. Not just by the weapons themselves, but the fact that you can add mods to them that really impact the change of gameplay to that gun. Same thing with the Masterwork system being overhauled. So there's no point of using the original Better Devils if you could try and get a Better Devils that's just like that, just year 2 version. So, I do hope that the grind will be enjoyable, but not tedious. I did like in Destiny 1 where they had the weekly bounties that guaranteed like a hand cannon or this or that. I did like the vendors selling specific weapons catered to their vendor, whatever, their mode that you earn, that like a Better Devils, for example, in the Crucible. Just with like random rolls. I really missed that, where there was actually a purpose to go visit the vendors. Faction Rally, I do hope that they do something different to that. Because if you don't remember, in Destiny 1, the vendors of the factions had weapons, and they randomly changed every week too with the rolls. So, it would be nice if they were there all the time to sell you stuff. And you were able to get tokens from that faction if you were part of them for that week, and you can only change once a week or whatever. I don't know. I know that they're going to be overhauling that too in some shape or form. But either way, it's looking promising. And I know that it's going to be just kind of going on up steps. We're not going to make giant leaps to the top right away. So when Forsaken releases, I know that there's going to be time for them to do more. I know that not everything that we want is going to be there at launch, but we could be optimistic and be like, yeah, everything's going to be there. But I don't know. But I'm very excited. I really am. I mean, the raid, who knows? The patrol areas look promising, but who knows? The things that they talk about sounds promising, but come on. I mean, they made the scannable sound promising. And you know how that turned out in the end. They made a lot of things sound promising, but in action, yay. Like, they're trying to make Lost Sectors sound a little bit more exciting, which I hope they do, because Lost Sectors can be quite enjoyable when you're roaming around in patrol. They need to make things relevant. And for those of you who are like, the only way you should get to max power is from doing like the prestige. No, I feel like you should always be able to get to max power from anything you do inside the game. But you should get higher gear from the difficulty of the activity, which they did kind of go into detail about that, which is good. Because I really, really, really don't like how people are like, oh, they should have, the only way to get the max power is from doing the prestige raid, because then you make everything else pretty much useless. And I know people would say, no, you get random rolls and blah, blah. No, because people want to have, like, the drops that they're getting have a chance, even just a chance, of being the maximum power level. Because if not, what's the point? What's the point of turning in this and that? I know random rolls are there, but still. Power level does make a big point into grinding activities and making it into a hobby. But I'm not saying that it should be very easy to get up in power level if you're just doing patrol, for example. No. But either way, I'm very excited. I want to know your thoughts. I really, really want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like, in the comments down below, like, tell me, are you excited? Are you not excited? Are you optimistic about this? Do you think it's promising? Are you going to get it at launch? Are you not? Are you not looking forward to it? Like, just whatever. Tell me what your thoughts are on Destiny 2 Forsaken as of right now when it comes to the excitement or non-excitement, depending on what you're having in response to this DLC. But either way, thank you so much for listening. Chibi out.